It's gonna be a beautiful wedding.
Here you are, standing on the precipice of something so much bigger than anyone here. But always remember, you are not alone.
I don't think that we met. I'm Sarah.
Niles.
Hi.
Hi.
Nice.
Run, rabbit, run!
Niles?
Don't come in here!
What the?
It's gonna be a beautiful wedding.
Good day so far?
Today, tomorrow, it's all the same.
What is going on? Hey, get out of the water!
Guess you followed me. It's one of those infinite time loop situations you might have heard about.
That I might have heard about.
Yeah. The second you fall asleep, it all just goes back to the start.
I drove all the way back home to Austin, and I still woke up here.
One time I smoked a bunch of crystal and made it all the way to Equatorial Guinea. It was a huge waste of time.
Well, then what's the point of living?
We kind of have no choice but to live.
No, I'm gonna get out of this.
Suit yourself. See you tomorrow.
So now what do we do?
You just have to embrace the fact that nothing matters.
Do you sleep with people in here?
Great question.
I have, but it takes a lot of work. May I cut in?
It's the first dance.
And that's a deal breaker?
That didn't work. Let's waste some time.
You want to dance? You know the officiant? He's got a bag of sweets in his pocket.
You were right. Got him.
I can't keep waking up in here. Everything that we are doing is meaningless.
I hope it's not all meaningless.
At least you have each other. Nothing worse than going through this shit alone.
Stop! There's a bomb in the cake. Don't worry. I used to be a bomb guy. Stand back!
It's gonna be a beautiful wedding.
I'm going to watch 30 movies, a movie each day in June. Day 7 of year 8 of movie month, and the podcast will start soon. He's going to watch 30 movies, some good films and some lowbrow. Year 8 of fans, not experts, movie month, and the podcast starts right now. Year 8 of movie month, that much you already know. Year 8 of movie month, and now it's time.
This is day 7. Yes, it's day 7. That's right, it's day 7 of movie month. I'm by the air conditioner outside in between the Bruins' first and second period. They're playing right now, and I thought I'd take a little time to talk about today's movie. This movie I wanted to see for a while. It's been in my queue. Not my Netflix queue, but my Hulu queue. Yes. Did you know Hulu makes their own movies too? Hulu, to me, is a good service that's a technical mess. Like, you watch one show, and then all of a sudden it says you have 164 in your queue, like in your watch list, and you want to, you're like, no, I don't, I watched all these old series. Can I just mark them all as played so I don't have to see seasons 1 through 12 of friggin' Shark Tank? I've seen them already, now, but just not on Hulu. And they're like, no, you can't do that because we stink. But it is a good service as far as stuff they have, as far as being able to watch stuff next day. I don't do Hulu Live, and I haven't watched many Hulu movies, except the funny thing is, in the last 2 days, I've watched movies on Hulu. Yesterday's movie and today's movie, the 2020 time loop comedy, romantic comedy, Palm Springs. I don't know if it came out in time for me to add it to the list last year. I think I was on the list since then, but finally watched it today, and spoiler alert, I loved it. Was there anything new about it? No. Was there anything explained about it? No. That didn't matter. I'm a big Andy Samberg fan. I've loved him on Saturday Night Live. I like the movies he's made. What was it like? The one where he's a pop star, I think that's funny. I'm trying to think other ones that I've seen with him. But anything he does, and I'm a huge Brooklyn Nine-Nine fan. Huge. And he just cracks me up constantly. I think he's pretty brilliant, I'll say it, in comedy. And he's starring as this guy who is at a wedding for his girlfriend's friend, and he's in this infinite loop. You know, it's Groundhog Day. And this girl who's at the wedding, the bride's sister, gets stuck in it with him, and they kind of, deal with it, live with it, and try to get out of it. Spoiler alert, I'm going to talk about this movie. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to give things away. So it gives you the regular tropes of a time loop where you see things, and you'll see them again. You see them from different angles. You see them get tweaked. You see, like waking up, and the guy, the people in the time loop know so much, but the other people are like, what are you talking about? One thing I really liked was that it started with Andy Samberg already in the loop for who knows how long. Could be years. He's already, he shows up at, late to the wedding, or shows up at the wedding, grabs the mic, does a speech where he says so many wonderful things. Then he does, and you realize, oh my God, he's doing this because he's already in the loop. And we see him doing this great dance. He ends up talking to this girl. Even though he's there with his girlfriend, he hates his girlfriend. You come to find out why later he hates his girlfriend, because she's cheating on him, and she's really kind of a shallow, not great person. So he goes and hangs out with the sister. He is about to sleep with her, or they're about to get it on, and all of a sudden this guy comes out of nowhere and attacks him with an arrow. And they're by this cave. Andy Samberg runs into the cave while he's bleeding. The hunter, the guy with the arrow, played by J.K. Simmons, the great J.K. Simmons, he also runs into this cave. And the girl's like, what are you doing? And Andy Samberg goes, don't come in, don't follow me. She goes into the cave. Next thing you know, she's in this time loop. So there's this cave with there's this orange glow. Look, that's what it is. It's a magic cave. And there's a magic cave that sticks you in a time loop. And what I like is how it's not every day is exactly the same. So we come to find out that J.K. Simmons is so angry that he's in this time loop. He got in it with Andy Samberg, who was already in it. And he came to the wedding. He got in the loop, and now he kind of goes home. But he wasn't staying at the resort, so he drove from his house. So he wakes up in his own bed every day and with his wife, and he's an older guy, but we've come to find out later, he has 2 young children. He lives with them every day. He does the same thing every day. And he's like, I'm never going to be able to see them walk down the aisle. I'm never going to get to see them grow up. But I am happy. I found, my wife, I have a great wife. I have great kids. So at least he has that. And we just find out, how much plot. There's plot, they realize they can die, but they come back. The pain is real. They feel it. And they just go through all kinds of adventures while at one point the girl's like, I can't do this anymore. We come to find out she slept with the bride's the bride's fiance, the husband-to-be. And played by Tyler Hoechlin, Superman on Superman and Lois. And the bride, I'm used to seeing her as a teenager on Riverdale. So it was weird seeing her I don't know the main actress, Kristen Filiati. There's my dog barking. I just put my dog back in the house. So I don't know the main actress by name, and I don't know why I know her. I've just seen her in things. She has a recognizable face. I've seen her in shows. And I looked up, I was like, oh, she was in that. I must have seen her there. Kristen Filiotti, I think. But she was good. She was fun, too, and like they had good chemistry, the two of them. And there's my dog in the house barking now. So I'm gonna go far away, little girl. You can stay there, bark all you want. So they do their whole thing where they just go on these fun adventures. They try all kinds of things. They crash a plane. They steal a plane. They crash a plane. And she asks him, did we ever hook up? Because Andy Samberg's been doing this day 1,000 times, and he says no. But then later find out that he says we've had sex like thousands of times. So he's been doing this for years. At one point, she says, happy millionth birthday. He's like, I'm not that old, am I? He was doing it so long that he forgot what he did in his previous life, like as a job. So it's like, you see this, and it's like sad. You're like, oh my God, you feel bad because this guy has just been, who knows how long it's felt for him. The girl, we don't know how long she's been doing it. Long enough where she can go every day. What's great is they don't lose their memory. So she goes off and starts studying physics. She's pissed at him for not telling the truth. She goes off and studies physics and learns all about, theoretical, physics and time loop theory and future time travel, all that stuff. And she comes to think that if you blow up everything while you're in there, you can get out. We do see her. We see the husband, the bride and husband to be. We see them at one point realize that he cheated on her. Then we see it from different angles. At the end, they stay married, and he's like, she says to him, "Don't F it up," and she just stares at him, and I think he figures out what it means, but he's still a cheating prick. Which is sad because he's Superman. And there were just a lot of these extra little characters who were fun and funny in the movie. 90 minutes, real easily digestible. As far as sci-fi stuff, who cares about that? Doesn't have to be explained, doesn't need to be explained. It's just a magic cave. J.K. Simmons was awesome in the small part he played. I love after the credits when J.K. Simmons comes up to Andy Samberg and says, your girl called me last night and told me her idea, to get out of the time loop, blow everything up. He goes, do you think it'll work? And Andy Samberg's like, I'm sorry, do I know you? And the look, the smile, the realization that goes on J.K. Simmons' face that you don't know me because you're not in a time loop because it worked. And I'm living this day a million times. You're only living this day one time. It reset everything. And it was like he's not in this time loop anymore. It was so... That was so great. This big smile, he realizes, oh my God, I'm going to be able to get out of this too. I'm going to go blow up the cave for me. Okay, this is crazy. I'm sorry, a red Jeep just drove down the street and this kid was hanging off the door outside, and I was afraid I was going to see him fall and roll to his death. People are so stupid. Anyway, and if he did, he's not going to come back. That would be his one and done. This movie was just fun and funny. Andy Samberg has these quick one-liners, his reactions, his goofiness was great. At one point, he needed a ride, and he'd run up to this guy with a gun, and he learned, you realize that he spent so much time with this guy over and over and over for who knows how many years of his life, and that he knew his life story, so he used it against him and said, 30 years ago, you met this woman at a bus station, and you had a one-night stand, and she left you. I'm your son. And the guy's like, I knew it. I had a feeling. And they hug, and then he gives them a ride. I mean, just funny stuff. And at one point, he's like, oh, I slept with this woman. I slept with this woman. I slept with this guy. She's like, what? He goes, yeah, he put his penis in my bum. I think is what he said, in my butt or something. Just the way he said it was so funny. He goes, I want to try it. Hilarious. Just hilarious. And again, I'm a sucker for these little time travel things. I'm a sucker for anything where you, even if it's not time travel, where you see something from different angles and you relive things, even if it's just for a narrative aspect. I always like that. So this was a big thumbs up for me. I knew I was going to like it. Got really good reviews. It's got really high Rotten Tomatoes score. So, yeah, I'm not sure what else to say. These episodes getting a little smaller, but I mean, this is a kind of a short movie, 90 minutes. three, main characters that are in this time loop. I love that every so often J.K. Simmons just comes to kill Andy Samberg because he needs to get his frustration out. And then when Andy drives all the way to his house and confronts him, and that's where we meet his family, he says, "Can you do me a favor?" He's like, "What's that?" He goes, "You need to leave now." He goes, "Can you do me one favor? Can you just kill me so I can beat the traffic?" Like, he'd rather die and wake up the next day than have to drive home. I thought that was really funny. Again, like I've been watching, certain things where you see a known trope and you just see a little twist. And there wasn't a major twist with this one. It's just the fun thing was we meet the character way into it. Not like Groundhog Day, which I don't know if Groundhog Day was the original one, but it feels like the original one. It's the one that everyone thinks of first, but we meet the guy who's already way into it, and then we get to experience for the first time through the girl. And I just like that little twist. And it's, multiple people in a loop, which you don't see all that often. So, I can't say much more about this. Another short, thumbs-up episode. I thought I'd give a little talk in between periods. And go Bruins. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Tie game after period 1. This is game 5 for you people paying attention. So, June 7th, game 5, 2021. I think that's it. I can't think of what else to say. It was just... Look, if you have Hulu, I highly recommend it, even though I've pretty much given everything away. But if you... Obviously, I tell you spoilers ahead. If you don't care about spoilers, go watch it. If you haven't... I got nothing. I got nothing else. Sometimes you hit record and you just realize, I think I've fulfilled or I've given the fill of what I can give on a certain movie. I'm trying to think. Oh, I do love when he said to the girl, because he's like, "How many people have you slept with?" He goes, "Oh, and your dad." And it shows him and Peter Gallagher play the father. And it shows them, he's like, "What are we doing?" And they're about to kiss. And she's like, "What?" He goes, "No, I'm just kidding." I just love those little things that just Andy Samberg, he's just good at kind of childish but charming. Is that kind of a way of saying it? Childish but charming? That seems like a thing. I can't wait. I mean, we got Brooklyn Nine-Nine's final season. If you don't, now I'll tell you this. If you don't watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you're missing out. That is a great show, and as much as Andy Samberg is that childish but charming, Andre Braugher, he's the chief, and he is amazing in this. He plays this real dry, overly dry, weirdly, just lack of emotion character, who is it's just brilliant. I'll use brilliant again. It's just an amazing character that he does. So I can't recommend that show enough. I think it's all on Hulu. If not, it's on Peacock. If not, because it's on NBC now. No, wait a minute. It was on Fox. Now it's on NBC. I'm completely thrown off. I think the Bruins game is coming back on, so I think I'm done. I think I've done it. I can't say anything more about it. Great movie. A lot of fun. Really enjoyable. The actors were really enjoyable, charming. Just fun. Fun. Till the data take the jukebox away. All right. That's it, my friends. Listen, you know a way to find me. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Geek Mentality. The website is fansnotexperts.com. The Facebook page is simply Fans Not Experts. The podcast is Geek Mentality. And this is my theme song. This is my podcast. I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe. 'Cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time. And I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode. Fans Not Experts. You can look and you will